About 7 months ago, when COVID-19 came to the US, I felt this sense of fear and tension well up inside of myself and all of those in our Dale Carnegie organization. You see, our entire career, our lives were based on the ability to go to people in person and deliver workshops, programs, or just give a presentation. And all of a sudden, all of that had been slowed down to a complete halt, a stop. So what did we do? Well, I remember that our leader, Dave, right after COVID-19 hit, he brought our whole team together and he said, you guys, we are not going to just go through this time. We are not going to just let COVID-19 happen to us, but instead we are going to grow through this time. So I thought in this moment, how am I going to grow as a Dale Carnegie trainer and salesperson when I can't meet people face to face? And that's my career. Well, an amazing thing happened. Dale Carnegie, as a global organization, we pivoted quickly. And within just a few weeks, hundreds of Dale Carnegie trainers from all over the globe were certified to deliver online presentations, including myself. In fact, I was one of the first groups to go through it. But I remember going into my certification to become online trainer certified, feeling a little, just not quite sure what to expect. I wasn't really sure that you could still have an impact in an online environment over Zoom or a similar platform. I'll just be honest. My attitude was pretty negative, which goes against everything that I believe as a Dale Carnegie person, but I'm just being honest with you. I had a negative attitude about this. Well, I went through the training, passed, and then here it comes. It's the day when I'm expected to deliver a live training on Zoom for my most favorite client. And I felt the butterflies. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to deliver. I just doubted, not really my own abilities, but I doubted if the technology would really be able to create a transformative environment for my participants. Well, I wish I hadn't doubted because the experience turned out to be amazing. And I can stand here today with full confidence and tell you that you can still have an inspirational, impactful moment online. You can still get your message across in an amazing way, whether you're in person or online. Really, it's up to you and your attitude. That is what is going to determine whether your online presentation was successful or not. So here are a few tips to help you when you're presenting online so that you can feel your best and others can really understand your message. The first thing that you need to do when preparing for an online presentation is to know the technology. Know it inside, backwards, all around, know your tool. So for example, let's say you're using Zoom like we are. I present on Zoom every single day. So when we first started presenting online, our whole team would get together Saturday mornings, in the evenings, during the day, whenever we had a spare moment to know Zoom. Know every single working part of it, the settings tools, how different things work. I remember working with one of our producers, Johnny, and we would take screenshots of what Zoom looked like in each of the different modes so that we would know as trainers exactly what to do when delivering in that platform. So my first tip to you, whether it's Zoom, WebEx, Skype, Teams, whatever online tool you're using to present, make sure you don't just know how to use the tool, but you know the tool. If your system has an update coming up, just be aware and be prepared that you know your tool inside, outside, backwards, and forwards. That way there are no surprises whenever you're presenting online, or at least there's none that you can expect. The next thing that you want to do when presenting online is make sure you look at the camera. I know it's really hard because what we want to do is we want to be looking at the people. So right now I'm looking at my colleagues Johnny and Evelyn. I'm not looking at the camera, so I'm not really connecting with you, the people who are watching this video. The same is true on Zoom or whatever platform you're using. If you're not looking at the camera, it just looks like you're glancing away, and it doesn't look as strong that way. So make sure eyes on the camera as much as possible, only glance down to look at your notes as needed. That will help you to keep some of that emotional engagement whenever you're presenting online. The next tip for you for when you're presenting online is to know that your voice is your most important tool. Why? Well, our voice is what carries our messaging. We could spend hours putting together the right content, making sure those PowerPoint slides are in all the right order, even making sure we're dressed our best. But if our voice does not carry our message in the right way, then our message, our content is not going to come through to our listeners. So make sure that you take the time to actually practice delivering your message. How does your voice sound over Zoom? Does it sound high-pitched, lower-pitched? Are you softer, louder? And make sure to enunciate and to have fun with your voice. Remember, presenting online is only as fun as you make it to be. So if you talk like this when you're presenting online, guess what? All of your listeners, they're sitting back like this listening to you. But if you talk and you're excited and engaged and you are using your different range that you have in your voice, that's gonna keep people engaged, at attention, and it makes it more fun. So the last tip for you if you're presenting online is to have the people listening to you engage. So just because you're the one speaking doesn't mean that they can't be doing something as well. Get them to type in the chat thoughts or questions that they have as they listen to you. Get them to use the emoji or the raised hand tools if that's allowed in your presentation to get some interaction going. There's stamps, emojis, chat, there's all these different ways that we can engage our audience members. So do something to get them engaged when you're speaking. That way they're more likely to actually be listening to what you have to say rather than checking their email or, heaven forbid, like unloading the dishwasher or something. Hopefully, if they're engaged, then they're gonna stay right there with you and you're gonna be able to deliver your message in a fun, engaging, and confident way. So in summary, if you're looking to be better at presenting online, first, make sure you know your technology. Spend time with it, research it, and practice using the technology. Second is to look at the camera. Make eye contact with the camera and don't just stare all around the room. We wanna look right at the camera to really emotionally engage and connect with our audience members. The third tip is to remember that your voice is your most important tool, so practice delivering your message, playing with your vocal range so that you can be more engaging when you speak online. And the last tip is to make sure that the audience is staying engaged by getting them to participate during your presentation as much as possible or as much as appropriate based on the subject matter of your presentation. If you follow through with these tips, you are going to have an amazing online presentation.